And we're back at the 2024 CoreTech Conference in San Jose, California. Marc Petock here with Lynxspring, Vice President, Chief Marketing Communications Officer. How are you, my friend?
I am well. Glad to be here. Glad to be at another CoreTech. What is this now?
I think this is the 13th year.
13th?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it just seems like yesterday we were having the CoreTech, the extension to IBCon, but delighted to be here. So thank you all for putting it on again.
Yeah, we were talking earlier that this would have been our 15th, but COVID sort of put a little stopgap in there, and we didn't do CoreTech for 2 years. So I think this is our third. Time just flies by so quickly. It doesn't seem like we've been doing it for as long as we have.
It does, but think of now what. Obviously, we're past COVID. Think of what COVID did for our industry, how its effect truly changed the industry in many, many different ways, from technology to conversations to just about outcomes that people are looking for, or building owners, operators are looking for, and so forth. So, you know, it's just amazing when you think back, and here we are today.
Yeah. Well, lot has changed, like you said, across the landscape. What are you seeing that is the most interesting across the, you know, I mean, the industry has been very transformative, obviously, has embraced technology in some cases, whether it wanted to or not. It was a, you know, sort of a mission of survival. What are you seeing, what have you seen particularly this year that, that maybe you didn't expect?
Well, number one, I think, again, the conversation continues to evolve. That's first and foremost. Number two is that we're looking at technology to do more than it ever has done before previously, if we look at, you know, the built environment. And I think what really has come completely full circle is it's not just a technology discussion anymore. It is a business discussion. And when I say business, it's how it's going to affect, how technology in the built environment is going to affect the business, but then what are the outcomes? Not ROI, but outcomes. What, as a building owner and operator, technology manufacturer, or a system integrator, what are the outcomes that truly need to be delivered from technology? Technology being the enabler.
Right. I think that you could go down a rabbit hole in that discussion. I think. What are the top three, let's say, accelerators that you saw going on this year?
I think, again, I would be remorse if I did not say data, and data, okay? So I think that's first and foremost. Number two is the shifting from integration. We've talked about integration, integrating all the disparate systems and equipment within a building, but now moving it towards interoperability between all those different systems and pieces of equipment. So I think that's number two. And then number three is the fact that, and I already mentioned this, is that technology has to do more for less from a cost perspective.
Right.
We got to take our technology, and instead of just integrating lighting and HVAC as an example, we have to integrate all the different sensors now. We have to integrate the meters to be part of it. And so there's a lot more that we have to deliver as a manufacturer, and then what owners and operators are looking for.
Do you think that the definition of a smart building has changed? Obviously, we've been talking about smart buildings now for 15, 20 years, and it gets more and more complex. And finally, you know, we jumped past that concept stage, and everybody knows what it is. But do you think that the definition has actually changed in the last couple of years?
I do. One, as need sets have changed. Two is that the technology has also changed and continues to progress. And then three, I'll throw that word back out here, is outcomes. Outcomes have changed. So yes, it has changed. And will this be the definition In 5 years from now, no. We will continually evolve as the journey continues.
So what do you think is the difference between ROI in a business case and positive outcome?
I think ROI is tied more to let's just look at it as financial to some degree. I spend $500,000 in this. What was the actual return on investment? Versus outcomes, I view them more as things that are from a higher level, from a financial management perspective, from risk mitigation to being able to truly maximize the use of the data and standardize and so forth and so on. So, outcomes are just more everyday results versus ROI is I look at it as after a period of time.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you and I have talked, a lot about the data, and it is obviously very, very critical, particularly as we move more and more into, AI technologies. What's going on there? Data is the core to, to a functional, efficient AI integration. What do you think the commercial and corporate real estate owners, do you think they're actually using the data? Because we're gathering all this data, we're looking at a lot of it, but are they really using it to affect decision making?
Good question. I think if you look at it from multiple perspectives, I think on the management of the buildings themselves, leases and things like that, yes, I thoroughly believe. But looking at it from an OT or operational technology perspective, I think some are not. Now, again, it's not because we don't have access to the data, we can standardize it, we can model it, I still think it's relatively new OT data and not enough individuals at building owners and operators truly understand that type of data. And I think it's a whole different mindset. So I think that's the difference. But again, looking at it from OT perspective versus IT perspective or business perspective is, I believe is, what is slowly but surely occurring.
And I think that's probably, as you and I have talked about, that's one of the things that Lynxspring is really paying attention to and putting more effort into is the analysis of the data and actually using data to affect change and affect decision making.
We are, because we're looking at it from both at the edge or at the device level itself, being able to process data and analytics there, and then also up at a cloud environment as well. But then it's not either or. We look at it, it's hybrid. It's both device level and cloud, and making, what's ever going to drive those outcomes, as I alluded to earlier.
Great. Well, I am looking forward to spending the next couple of days at the conference
Me too.
and seeing you. And thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting it. Lynxspring has been a longtime partner and supporter of Realcomm, and we greatly appreciate what you guys do in the industry, and you in particular.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're a friend of the family, of course.
Absolutely. No, I enjoyed, and again, thank you guys for continually doing this, because it has to be done each and every year. And if we don't, then I think we'll just we'll climb back in our holes where we were 15, 20 years ago, which none of us want to do.
Nobody wants that.
No.
So it was good seeing you,
back at
and I'm hoping that we're going to see you again soon, have you back, and we'll have another chat.
We will. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mark.